Uh-oh.
You're funny.
Like I said. Do you like my tail? Like I said.
Welcome back, guys, to another exciting episode of Iron Rage. I'm back and ready to rage after my COVID stint. I got Lee Priest here and Mike Avalon joining us again today.
Hi.
What's up?
Dave's like the only person who was in lockdown more than anyone than someone on Rikers Island, and he gets fucking COVID.
You know, I've been trying to figure out where I got it from, and I've talked to us on the other shows. I thought it was Mr. G. I was convinced that he fucking brought it in here, and it wasn't.
It was probably him.
It wasn't him. He tested. He said he was negative.
It was the delivery guy.
I'm convinced that I got it from my kids' MMA gym because they have the parents on these little bleachers all sitting next to each other watching our kids fight, and these people don't stop talking to me. So I have a feeling that's where it came from.
Did you have symptoms?
Yeah, I was. You know what it is? It's not like you're in agony pain all day. It's like a low-grade flu that doesn't go away. You know, usually you get the flu, you get sick for 3 days and you're better. It was like 10 days of just like not feeling terrible. You know, I could have taken everything away from me and just put me in a hospital, but I couldn't care less. That's how I
How
felt.
dare you say the world's deadliest virus is like a mild flu? How dare you?
No, but you know what? I got news for you. You want to try having the flu for 2 weeks straight. Even if it's a low-grade flu, it's a miserable.
Hey, remember bodybuilders?
It's like withdrawing from opiates or something like that.
Yeah, it's probably worse. Yeah.
Remember back in the day when bodybuilders would actually try and get the flu or a fever near contest time to help drop body weight. Remember, people would actually try and get sick. Yeah, in Australia, some would because they try and get a fever so they could sweat.
Whose cockamamie idea was this, Lee?
I don't know. The same people that wouldn't fucking brush their teeth or have a bath because there's sodium in it.
I remember the brush
would make them hold water.
Don't brush your teeth. You're gonna hold water.
Sodium fluoride.
Yeah. Or if you have a bath,
Mike, you were just perfect. Why are you moving around again? Right there, right there. Stay there.
He's trying to look like Joe Rogan every time.
I know he does look like Joe Rogan. I was going to say that.
Thanks.
Yeah, got Joe Rogan on today. We got to get cancelled. Hey, look, Dave's wearing the Lee Priest shirt. I got the Jimmy the Bull shirt on today. Look at this.
Yeah. I got a CBGB shirt on.
What the what on?
CBGB.
Oh.
Music you don't like.
Lesbian bi something. What's the initial?
No, it was a very famous dive bar.
Hip-hop.
Old punk kind of rock and stuff, Blondie. And
stuff. That's what I'm right up.
Oh, really?
That's
cool. Yeah. That's good.
You never went there?
What?
It was a real shithole, but it was pretty hardcore though.
In the city, right?
Yeah, it was in the Bowery, nice area, you know.
I never went there, but I heard it was pretty cool.
You know. Were you with me that time, Mike, in New York after the night? I don't know if you were. Remember, we went. Not sure if you were with me. The gay guy that used to own Serendipities.
Yeah, we went to Serendipity. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, because the gay guy there loved me, and we got the biggest desserts. He kept bringing us ice cream and these big sundaes.
I remember that, yeah.
Oh, is that still there? That restaurant?
I think so, yeah. Because one of my clients always says he's going there, and I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah, what a great place.
It's funny that whenever you guys talk about like places you went, it always has something to do with food. I noticed.
Yes, it's like it's location.
It's him.
That's our markers.
It's him. He's the food guy. Oh my god! You should have seen all the.
Remember that time that your fourth child was born? Oh yeah, and they had that big fucking cake machine right down the end of the hospital ward. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's like everything goes back to food. It's like.
But you know what? I was the same exact way when I was bodybuilding. It was like I would leave one restaurant and I'd be thinking about, all right, I'm going to be I got to go to the diner later because I got to eat again.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah. There's always that diner was open. That what was that?
Jerry's
Diner or something.
Remember Jerry's?
Yeah. In Long Island, yeah.
Seaford Diner.
I went to the Seaford Palace Diner for many, many years, and then they
sold
that, and then they built the East Bay Diner, which was on. Right,
it's like, can I have 5 hamburger patties and 3 bowls of rice?
Lee, they would literally give you at this East Bay Diner. I'm convinced it was a full salmon fish, The filet was so big, and I could eat a lot of food. I would bring it home, and I have leftovers. Long Island has these diners where they feed you enormous quantities of food because people are complete gluttons and they're cheapos there, even though they have money. So they'll spend money, but as long as they feel like they're getting their money's worth, and they can go home with a little doggy bag.
Plus, the diners made the most money when the clubs in Long Island closed at like 4 a.m. It'd be called the Disco Diner.
You couldn't even get in there. It was like going to an after party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Let's talk about the Masters Olympia that they're bringing back. Mike had sent me the clip of it. I had just seen it also about pretty much the same time that you sent that to me.
I mean, so I don't think. What do you think, Dave? I mean, I don't think this is a good idea.
Well,
take you rain on my parade, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think Lee's going to agree.
Comeback.
I stole your thunder.
Yeah, this is my comeback. What are you talking about?
No. Well, I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's all right for guys that are like, say Victor Martinez, who's already in shape now. You know what I mean? He's already kind of got that momentum going anyway. Guys that have just retired, you know what I mean, that aren't far off. You're gonna get guys that are 50 and 60 years old, starting to gear up again after 10, 20 years off stuff. They're gonna be dropping like flies.
Who's going to do that?
Less competition for me. Less competition for me, Mike.
I don't think you're going to see guys come out of retirement. Do you? You think you're going to see like Dennis James and Dexter?
Kevin LeBron came out of retirement. I don't think Dexter doesn't have anything to prove. But a lot of these guys like to want to go back. They have I have unfinished business and
Right.
Stuff
they
in
can't
the
let
basement.
it go.
Well, fine then, Mike. My plan was, Dave was doing my program. I was going to fly you out to Australia for 4 months, and we're going to make the big comeback. Well, fuck it now.
You got to live with you got to live with Lee for 3 months.
I don't
supervise
want
his diet.
This is what it's contributing. I mean, this is encouraging guys in their 50s or whatever.
Mike, you
come
could
back
technically be on that stage
and load up.
You.
I mean, you're gonna kill these people.
Maybe you can finally get on stage with your friend Lee Priest. How cool would that be?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I also am not a fan of I'm not a fan of these guys, not competing after, 8, 10, 20 years and then coming back. It's not the same. And you kind of taint the legacy a little bit,
I think what's going to happen is, which always happens, especially when they started at 94, it was really for Lou Ferrigno because he wanted to come back and win the Olympia title, right? And then they found Robbie Robinson in some like remote island, mountaintop or something like that, and he came back and won. But after those two guys went, then you started getting like younger guys, like started turning 40, and you started getting guys like Dexter Jackson doing it, So Dennis James, I think, did it 1 year,
If they start at 40, that's another story.
That's what they're starting at, yeah. So you're going to get guys
like
Cedric.
I know will come back?
Huh?
You know who will come back? I guarantee I know who will come back and do it.
Who?
Frank
Samir Benu.
Samir will definitely go. He'll win this. Try to win the 70.
Samir will. Of course he will. Samir would do it.
He did a show like 10 years ago, didn't he? Remember?
Yeah.
He still got it, Bubba. He says, Bubba, when these guns shoot straight. When my gun shoots straight, Bubba, he would say, yes, Lee. I tell you, Lee, he'd go, Lee, when these guns shoot straight, nobody, Bubba, can touch me. Christmas tree is so crisp.
He likes to roll the sleeve up, even now.
No, then he'll do the tricep. Look at this, Bubba. Look at the tricep,
Bubba. His favorite bodybuilder was Ali Mala.
Yes. Yeah. Remember when they used to get into arguments? They would have arguments and not talk for months. So it was too like.
Oh my God!
The biggest argument they ever had was when
Ali Mala is sick of.
When
Dave, were you at the 87 Night of Champions?
No, before my time.
Ali.
Is that when he went off?
I was in high school.
Ali. Everybody was kind of chastising him on stage because he didn't look that good. So they were like, they were really rooting him on, the sarcastic thing in New York. Yeah. And so. The placings were called out, and he was so pissed off. He went up and down the aisles like yelling.
Really? Oh my God! Oh, because he thought the crowd thought he should have won.
I think he thought he was done better. And he's walking up and down saying, "This is bullshit." That kind of thing.
He's like the Iron Sheik.
It was like that was when Stridham won.
It's like when Samir went to Bob Paris's wedding. Ali Mala didn't talk to him for a year or two because he went to the the wedding of Bob Paris.
Oh, you're right. He did like gay people, right, or something like that.
No, yeah, because of the religion and that. Yeah, he didn't agree with it.
God.
So they were fucking. Oh.
Steroids are okay though, right?
Is Ali Molly still alive? Too.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I think so.
I remember the time where were we? Someone was joking around. There was me, Samir, Ali, and we were playing ball down on Malibu Beach, and someone said to Ali Molly, just joking, "Oh, you silly motherfucker! I've never seen someone snap like this. What do you mean, motherfucker? I not fuck my mother. How dare you call me motherfucker? You saying I fuck my mother? He just fucking went from this to fucking backpack 10 seconds to go on a timer on his back, and he was fucking off. It was like
he had a thick upper body though.
He was good, yes.
Yeah.
Nice guy though, very very funny.
One of the best 3/4 back shots.
Yeah, he was impressive. So
last time I saw him, he had like a beard. He looked like a goat herder from the hills where they found Robbie Robinson.
You know, I think we're going to see guys like Cedric McMillan in that show, who's over 40. Right? I mean, why wouldn't he? I mean, there's a lot of guys.
But they haven't said yet. They haven't. Well, I said they should look over 40. Still pretty. I reckon if you're going to do it, it's got to be 45. I reckon 50.
45.
Yeah.
50 plus. You got to be 50.
I think it should be 50 also. That was my problem to begin with.
They usually have categories: over 40, over 50, over 60.
But 40 people are just coming into their own. Sometimes.
Back in the day, pros were turning pro in their early 20s, mid 20s. Now people are turning pro at 36, so at 40, they're still pretty good. So 50 plus.
Yeah, Sergio Oliva might be close to 40 already. Yeah, exactly.
This is going to be like masters / geriatric. So we're going to be like 50 plus.
I mean, some guys.
I think Rami's 38, right? Isn't he, or something like that?
Yeah.
I like
40's too young.
I liked your little talk on Rami before I watched that.
Oh, do you agree with it?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, the guy doesn't do anything as Mr. Olympia. I mean,
he's nowhere to be found.
No.
You see one picture, like, when was that? Was that 2 years ago? Was that 5 years ago? When was that?
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
He's busy building the pyramids. Knock it off.
I thought they were already built before,
Well, look, they gotta, fix them up a bit. Wear and tear, erosion over time. They
better watch out for the lumps in the pyramids.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
the nose on the things.
I'm so upset that I didn't take more pictures of myself back in the 90s because, I had some freaky, I could have taken some freaky gym pictures. And you'd think Rami would be like, I want to have this stuff for posterity, after I'm done competing in 10 years or whatever it is. You think he would take more photos. I hope he is taking photos. Maybe he's just not posting them. I don't know.
But you're also supposed to be, as Mr. Olympia, a representative of the sport. Like, he's nowhere to be found.
Right.
Yeah,
then people say, well, Dorian did that. People go, but Dorian did that. But and when people say that, I'm like, but when Dorian did that, all we had was the magazines, really. Now with the internet, there's no excuse not to be seen. Even
we saw Dorian in the magazine every month, though. Rita would run
that's what I mean there. But but that's the excuse they say because Dorian didn't go anywhere. He stayed in England. Yeah, but now with the internet, Rami could sit in his basement 24/7 and still be online talking and doing whatever or showing photographs. There's no excuse now.
Dorian, though, that was part of his whole thing. Was
Mystique,
yeah.
But he guest posed a lot. He guest posed all over the country, so you can go see him guest posing.
I still hear constantly. I was in LA. I was in California, but I still hear constantly about that 93 guest posing at Bev's, Atlantic States.
Yeah. I was there. That was when I said I'm going to be 300 pounds after I saw him. I said,
really?
That's
it. Like Rami's nickname is Big Rami, and every time I mention Rami, look, I get abused. I just read the comments. You hate Rami. You hate Rami. He's like, you say anything.
I'm not a Rami fan.
Just give it. But I don't mind him. But I just don't. I just think other people. To me, I thought when Brendan should have won, you hate him. Fuck you. I mean, I get abused all the time. But they call him Big Rami. Dorian was the shadow. I think Rami, we're going to give him a new name. We're going to take it from one of the comics, The Invisible Man. We've changed it. Rami is now The Invisible Man.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's good.
No more Big Rami because we don't know if he's big. We don't know how
maybe just shorten it to Invisible. How about that?
Yeah. Invisible.
Invisible.
I saw a picture of I don't know if it was a new picture of Brandon Curry, but he looks like
he's
up a lot.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah, he's looking very good.
And there's one of Brett Wilkins. There's one of Brett Wilkins that popped up, I think, today. He looked good too. Looked a little bit like
Did you see that Nick Walker? But you just posted a Nick Walker picture, right? He looked fucking big.
Is that the side chest one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
not a huge fan, but you can't deny how freaky he is.
There's Brett Wilkins. Yep. He's looking pretty freaky.
Yeah.
Someone asked me to ask Dave about that.
Yeah, I think Brandon though. I think he's going to be hard to beat. Until the day, like we say, and they're all on stage under the lighting, and we actually see how they look.
I like Brandon's look. When he won. When he was fuller.
Yeah.
He was freaky looking. I mean, he wasn't as diced, but then the year after he was a little flatter. He lost a lot. I don't know, for some reason the fullness really does him well.
And he's hard to beat. In all his side shots, he's pretty hard to beat Brandon. It's like,
Yeah, I think Ramy, I'm sorry, but I just think he's lacking too many things. Like small arms and no calves.
But like I said, I give him credit for this. This is how I try to explain. Like Ramy is big. It's like Marcus Rule big, where it's just like big and freaky. Yes, they're near 300 pounds. Fantastic. But yet, when I looked at somebody like Phil Heath or someone like that, or a Jay Cutler or Dorian, there's Ramy who looks like this big, like billboard, where it's just wide and has muscle. But all the others, okay, they're not as big, but yet they have that 3D cartoon look where they just look like, it's just this weird. It's hard to explain. Like you're looking at this action figure from every angle, it looks 3D, whereas Ramy just looks like the big movie theater screen where it's big but flat type looking. Now I'm going to get hate mail. I understand.
Well, I mean, Phil was big, round, and striated all over, where Ramy does not have striations anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm going to get how many Olympias have you won, short ass?
Well, you never want to. These commentators never won a Super Bowl, but they're still like talking about football. So
right.
Yeah.
You know what it is? You look at a William Bonac with all that round,
I think he's done. I think he's done.
Convoluted muscle. It looks almost more impressive. He's just short. That's all.
I like honestly, I'm not a big. Seeing pictures of him, I think that hottie got ripped off last year, big time.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
That's the thing. I'm worried about with Hardy's fantastic. Hardy's conditioning is good, but I'm sort of on the same boat now. Whether it's just because the Nick Walkers, the Bretts, the Ians are all coming in, that Hardy and Bonac now could be slowly sliding down, because as good as they look, I don't know if they can improve muscle-wise. Conditioning, yes, they can maybe get conditioning a bit better, whereas these other younger guys like the Nicks and them, they're still improving now. So I think that's going to slowly start pushing the Hardys and Bonacs down the chain a little bit now as the year goes on.
You guys were talking
he's a big, huge freak, but I just don't like, he's just, I don't know, it just doesn't have the, whatever. I'm old school, obviously.
You know what it is? He's so big now, and he's kind of not really the tallest guy.
He doesn't look sloppy there.
Well, I'm just saying he I think aesthetically, at some point he could jeopardize. I don't think he's done it yet. He could jeopardize his physique if he gets too big.
Yeah, he can't. He got to stop. He has to. If I was him, I would get harder and stuff.
Well, I said the muscle mass.
He's pretty freaky hard on stage, though. You can't really say he doesn't get hard. He just doesn't need to get much bigger. I think. I know.
Yeah, exactly. That's more
the bodybuilder mentality is bigger.
It's ridiculous. That's why everybody gets worse every year.
Yeah, of course. But you get sucked into it. You cannot stop yourself. That no one's the only person who stopped himself was Sean Ray, because he did
a good job. Lee stayed.
I didn't go crazy with it, even because how many times?
But Lee didn't use a lot of drugs though, Mike, either. So
that's the thing. But how many times did people say to me, Mike was there, Lee, imagine if you just took this much. Imagine if you did this. And I'm like, why? I said, I'm doing okay. It's like I'm happy to just go along how I am.
Basically, right?
Yeah.
No. It's I was happy just to an off season. Like I said, and Mike can tell you this too. Off season, that's probably when you make your good gains, because you could eat more. Which I ate a lot, but Mike could tell you there was times
he's off.
I would go do stuff. I'd be off the gear, but then I might have breakfast and I might not eat again till the afternoon. And people go, "How do you keep your size? You've only had 2 meals today." I'm like, I just eat when I'm hungry. So I probably could have made more gains if off season I was more regimented in my. But I was like, I'll eat when I want. You know,
but you know what though? Your physique was so compact and so round, kind of like Phil, that you weren't. It wasn't like you were lacking muscle. You didn't even need to get bigger. You know.
I think the hardest you ever wore was that Universe you won.
Oh yeah, see, that was 42. Imagine at 50 coming back for the Olympia.
I mean, your legs were never that hard, and your
glutes, got muscle maturity,
and your hams, and your back.
Yeah,
you know.
I haven't got mental maturity yet, but I've got muscle maturity.
You're a bodybuilder. You don't need mental maturity. All you need is muscle maturity.
Mental maturity actually would make you not compete, probably, if you had that.
I got to say, if I had mental maturity, I would have been a fucking lawyer, or a doctor, or a fucking pilot, not a fucking bodybuilder.
Nah, I know a lot of those. They're not that happy.
Yeah.
They're not. Oh,
nah. I know. I train a lot of lawyers. They don't love it.
No, well, New York is full of lawyers, isn't it? Fuck.
Yeah.
I just started watching a good show actually on it's not got to do with lawyers, but there's one on Netflix called is it Becoming Anna something, where it's like this girl who like hoodwinked high society and made out she was this heiress.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but they got there's a TV show on it now, and they're showing her how she hoodwinked all these high society people, said she was an heiress to all these fortunes and all the money she got, and lived a lifestyle and traveled the world. I think.
What's the name of the show? I gotta check it out.
People are so stupid. It's like ridiculous.
Is it called Becoming Anna something or Becoming?
You know, is it the girl? Do you watch Ozark? The girl from Ozark?
Yeah, she's in there. Because as I'm watching it, I'm expecting to hear that.
Which girl
the
from
blonde
Ozark?
one with the real accent?
Ruth.
Fuck yeah, Danny.
Ruth.
Oh, that girl. Oh, she's great. Yeah, I love that show.
She's
you know, I also love.
So I'm just saying, as I'm watching this one, I expect to hear that accent from Ozarks keep popping up, but she's got this real popper, like it's like a German accent? Type English. It's like Germanish. It's hard to describe what accent it is, but
you know, when I got sick with COVID, I didn't know what to do with myself.
Did you have COVID, Dave? You haven't mentioned it.
Yeah, I was isolated and I didn't know what to watch. So I said, you know what? Someone had mentioned
Pornhub.
The Money Heist. Have you seen that show?
Oh, yeah.
I watched it. I think I watched a little bit of it.
I love that. I'm completely consumed with it.
That's the one where the girl got hoodwinked by her boyfriend to go rob something?
No, well, they didn't really get hoodwinked, but yeah, they all.
There is a movie.
Crazy heist.
Called
they robbed the bank of
with Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
I think that's a true story. I think there was a movie based on that. Was it with Zach Galifianakis and Kristen Wiig?
Maybe I don't know. I don't think it's the same. It's not the same thing.
There is a movie called Money Heist, and there is the series where it's like a
This thing is so well written. The characters are so good,
Dave,
and I had so much anxiety watching this because I was so into the characters. It was an unbelievable ride. It's like the first 2 seasons are like really one, and then I'm on the third now. But
But what about Ozarks? You're getting into the Ozarks, and it's like after episode 7 now, it's like that's it. Part 1's done. I got to wait.
I hate that.
I hate when they do that.
And they don't have any date for it to come on the next time. It's you gotta.
It's like
that's why I like watching these.
And all of a sudden, your connection cuts off.
Well, that's why I like watching them when there's already like 3 or 4 seasons, and I just find out about it because I can binge watch it like fucking for a week or 2.
I once I didn't watch Breaking Bad. I watched binge on that.
What about Yellowstone? Who watches Yellowstone?
I don't
watch that. What's that?
No one? Am I the only one here?
You remember that show,
Yellowstone with
24 with Kiefer
Kevin Costner. So he's like a rancher. 24. I love that. Oh.
24 I watched. Seriously, I was in the hospital. I'm trying to think. I think when I had my quad, I had like an infection or something like that. And I was in there for like 7 days. I watched the whole thing, all 24. Because, there's like 24 episodes every year. And there was like 6 seasons or something like that.
Yeah.
That's all I do is watch.
Each series, but the thing is, you figure I sit there watching, thinking each series is one day in the life of this guy, and I'm thinking, what a fucking day!
I hope he gets paid well.
You know what other show I did love that he was in, but then they just stopped. It was that Designated Survivor.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Have you watched that?
No.
Watch it. It's really good. It's about he's in like the Senate or whatever he is, or he's part of the thing. And what happens is, everyone, like they're in the Capitol, the building blows up, and all of a sudden he becomes the designated survivor. So he becomes president.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 2 or 3 seasons. So it's all about all the
Kiefer Sutherland
going on in the
main
government. Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland, designated survivor. Yes, it's similar, very similar to 24. You'll love it.
Oh,
it's
very good.
Dave, you got to watch on Netflix something called Crime Square. It's about Times Square in the 70s.
Right. What are they?
Is that with the torsos, with the torso bodies and all that? Was that
well, there was like a serial killer who I
watched that. Yeah,
he got caught killing like 10 women, but he
later admitted to killing like 100. Yeah.
Really?
That's good.
So it was based on a true story, then you're saying?
Oh yeah. Dave, remember? Did you ever go to Times Square in the 70s?
No.
You didn't come to the city?
I was what, 5 years old? How old could you have been?
I was in the city when in the 70s.
Come on, Dave.
I was probably 10.
Your dad was bringing you down. Your dad was bringing you in for a milkshake, wink, wink, down the Times Square.
Anyway, once in a blue moon.
The 70s, the Times Square was a nightmare.
Yeah, should have seen it.
A circus. You saw that.
Mike, hold on.
You're like Vegas.
How old are you,
I'm going to be 51 in fucking next month.
All right, so you're 3 years younger than me. So you couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah, I was. That's how old I was, definitely. My mother used to take me into the city.
But he remembers. Yeah, watch it, Dave, because it's true. It shows you these cases where this guy was murdering these women and he's shoving them under the bed, cutting their hands and feet off them, and then but the whole Times Square. It's just like peep shows, and it's like Vegas. It's just like sex.
Yeah, well, that's still
everywhere.
Dave, I want to ask you something. What do you think about this Bob Saget thing? Did you hear about the other part of it?
What, he said he hit his head or something like that?
No. So basically, they said how he died by he hit his head and then he went to sleep. He forgot about it and he died. Well, so what happened was the autopsy came out and he has multiple fractures. It's as if he fell 20 or 30 feet. Or got hit with a baseball bat in the head, and he has bleeding on both sides of his brain.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
So someone murdered him. Probably.
Yeah, I heard that.
Obviously, there's an investigation. You're probably going to see a hooker coming out of that room. He probably fucked her over, and she hit him over the head with a lamp or something.
Maybe, or maybe he owed someone money. Who the fuck knows?
Something happened, man.
It's weird that they would rule it an accident initially. That means it's a cover-up,
Yeah.
So that means it's probably way up. It's in Jimmy. That's Jimmy the Bull.
It's as if he fell 30 feet or got hit with a baseball bat, and his wife saying, "Oh, he just hit his head and just forgot about it. And went to sleep." Yeah,
maybe
went to sleep forever.
Maybe like Lee tied his penis to the ceiling, and then the thing broke off, and he just came down and hit his head on the bed.
Someone didn't like his stand-up act that night with it and went to him in a baseball.
I heard he's one of the raunchiest stand-ups there is.
He's the dirtiest guy.
He's rude. You never see him, especially when you see him from Full House.
Yeah.
When you see him on Full House, then you see him do the stuff. You think
that's why he's the same guy. He wants to make up. He's making up for the Full House thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yes.
He was always like that. Even when he did Full House, he was a dirty comedian.
What about you saw him on Entourage when he played like the opposite self? But I bet that's the way he really is.
Yeah. No, I think he is. Yeah. Unbelievable.
No, but Epstein.
Let's get back to this. Oh, Lee, let's get back to the Masters Olympia. How much money do you think they're going to be putting on the?
Not a lot.
What if Jake put up 50,000 or 100,000 for that? Would you see you think a lot of people would come back for it?
Yeah, I do.
You'd have to do 50. Look, I'd say make it 50 plus. And prize money 50,000 at least. You got to.
50,000 should go to the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
50,000 to the winner, maybe like 30,
place.
25, 10.
Yeah, that sounds great.
You have to do that. It's the Olympia. You can't give these guys 10 grand like they do it, at these other shows.
Dave, I did a show where they wanted us to bring in money to pool our money together.
Well, Gary.
IFBB Pro show.
Look, you know what it is, Mike? Some guys just want to, they don't care what they win. They just want to say, I won a pro show. So Gary Udit was smart, but he said, look, you know what? There's not enough master shows. If you want to compete at the Masters Pro, what they have at the North American or whatever show they have at the Masters Nationals, everyone pays a certain amount and that'll go into the prize money, and I think it's a good idea. Pay to play,
That's a show I tore my biceps on stage. I still took fourth though.
But it's like
so I was out of the money, but the guy who took third paid $200, so I wasn't too upset.
You could have got car fare back to the city, yeah.
We used to do that in drag racing. When I go racing in Vegas, the Friday night they'd have like I ended up pretty good that night. There's like 200 cars. You'll pay $50, and it's like a bracket race. So you dial your car and you say, I'm going to run 7 seconds and blah, blah, blah. So I put in like 7:20. Fucking reaction time. Boom. Perfect zeros. Cross the finish line. Right. Perfect 7.20. I got the perfect run. So there's like 200 cars. Everyone puts in $50 and the winner takes all. And when I got to the end of the line there, I said to my friend Tom, who was racing his car, I said, how'd you go? How'd I go? He goes, you just pissed everybody off. Look at that. You got the perfect run. Unless somebody gets the perfect. Yeah, I won all the money that night. So all weekend when I was racing, they'd be like, and here comes Lee Priest, the winner of last night's thing with the perfect run. It was whatever. 200 cars, $50 each. Cash.
Wow.
Nice.
That's a good thing. Now, what kind of car were you driving back then?
That was a super comp dragster, that one. That was like I don't have a picture of it on the wall. I got a picture.
Who paid for that?
Hold on. Look, I'll show you. Hold on. My friend Tom.
What friend?
Here it is, here on the wall.
Race car driving is expensive. I don't know how he pulled that up.
This is one of them. This was one of Rod Fuller's who used to race Top Fuel. This was me actually at that race in Vegas when I won it, the Super Chevy Show. Here's Lee.
Wow.
I don't even know how the fuck you fit in those cars.
Who paid for that car?
They did. Like, that was Rod's, that one. And Tom Bayer, he had like a few cars, so he'd truck them out, like the trailer and that. So I would just drive to the track or fly to the track.
But how did you get in with these guys? Were they going to let you drive? Did you have to qualify?
Rod Fuller, I met him at the Olympia. He was a fan of mine. So I started driving his car here. Then I got my license. And Tom Bayer and Fast Jack Beckman that races, they became good friends of mine. And he had a couple of cars. He goes, do you want to drive with me? And he was sponsored by Lucas Oil and that. So I would race one of his cars.
Wow.
And Dave, by the way.
Yeah.
We had plenty of foreshadowing that Lee was going to be a race car driver.
The way he drives his regular cars.
Remember when you used to drive in your car? You used to drive your car like a race car?
No, never. I was always
Saline Mustang.
No, he would drive his car like I would be like, oh shit, like
going around corners, the on ramps, the freeways. It would stick. Like Mike and I going to the gym was like the fourth turn in Daytona. We were going around the on ramp.
No, this guy.
It's like
he had a Ford. I remember we had a Ford Fiero, the first car he had, which he sold
that
to me.
little one.
What?
Yeah.
How did you guys fit in that car?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That thing is small. Holy.
How many cars did I have? Jesus Christ! I remember that.
A lot.
Yeah, you were.
But we got to the.
You're still always trading it. I never know what car he's got. He's got a new car every 6 months. This guy.
Well, we never crashed. We got to the gym on time, and it was like the Ford Saline was good. Remember the Ford Saline?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, the red one.
That's a nice. That was a nice.
That was nice. That was fat. That's a power.
That was
and
one
the
of the
convertible
cars,
Beamer.
Right? Yeah, he had the. When I was there, he had in 2000, he had the Saline, the Beamer, and the Hummer, I think.
Even the Hummer, it was good at going around corners because it was so wide it would just stick. I was going down.
Arnold has the Hummer.
Lee,
had a Hummer.
Lee, remember that guy that used to come by your house? That weird guy.
I just sit out the front. Yeah. I forgot about him.
Remember that
He'd
guy?
go to the gym too, wouldn't he? He had the glasses on, and he found out where we lived. He'd be at the front of Gold's.
Stalker.
No, he looked a bit like Steve Neese. But yeah, Mike would be like, Lee, quick, come here. So we'd go to the laundry window, and he'd be sitting out there, and he's got his car window down with his, you see these glasses looking out the
oranges
window. And we're like, that's the same fucker that would sit down out front of the gym. See, we got oranges, would run out the front of the house and pelt his car with oranges.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I forgot all about him. He was a fucking weird one, that one, wasn't it?
I think he was like walking around once. I don't think he was even in his car once.
Yeah, but remember we'd say, here he comes again, here he comes. So Mike would find anything he could, rocks, anything, and as he came past, would
I don't think
his car.
Rocks, no.
Yeah, we did that one day. We had to get rocks because we ran out of oranges.
All right. I threw a grenade at him once. He was like, I missed. But,
yeah, but he'll be a gold. Yeah, he'll be a gold. He's like, imagine Steve Neese, but thinner, shorter, and a cross between Jerry Fredericks and it's like if you picture the perfect pedophile rolled into one, this is that guy. I mean, he's the poster child for
Dave.
Whatever.
Yeah. Dave, so I heard there's a new term for pedophile now.
Oh, what is it?
It's called majority loving or something like that. Don't quote me.
Really?
Or minority loving or minority love or something.
Minority love. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to classify people as children anymore.
It's something. Yeah, you don't want
actually.
Pedophile's an ugly word. What, you want to keep that?
Yeah, I did hear that like a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah, they did say that the word pedophile and this and that is demeaning.
I guess pediatrician would be demeaning too, right, kids?
Yeah, well, Dave, listen. If you're raping children, you don't want to be called ugly names. Now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on.
Well, you don't want to be called a pediatrician either, because that can imply that that you're doing something with kids, right? So you got to change that too.
I mean, but what? I mean, what?
We live in an insane world. You can't say fucking anything. That's why I don't even talk anymore. You
can't say anything.
My opinions anymore.
You can't say.
Can you imagine?
I'm in a room of people. I don't give any opinions. Only on the show I give opinions.
I know, but imagine living in a world where you have to be careful that, like, even because they said it was in because it came up in a court thing too, because they were saying they don't want to be labelled. And I'm thinking, what world do we live in now where you have to be that sensitive that you cannot upset someone that's been abusing children because their feelings might get hurt?
Right. Back
like, what the
20 years ago, you could throw rocks at them and shit like that. Nowadays, they'll sue you.
You could take him out the back and beat him with a baseball bat like Bob Saget.
No, but
now you can't even fuck.
I think it's like, it seems like they're accepting them. That's who they are, type thing. Give them a name,
It's like back.
Club?
Remember
what's that one in Canada? Canada has that
Nambla.
Nambla. Yeah.
Not that I remember, but Howard Stern talked about him a lot.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's like it's a club in Canada where it's North American
Man Boy Love Association or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like this group of men that love young boys. Yeah. It's like a club.
You remember back in Vegas in the 70s, if you were cheating there, they would fucking beat the piss out of you and throw you out of the fucking. You can't even do that anymore.
Yeah.
I used to have friends. Yeah, I used to have friends that lived in Vegas, and I always used to say, I said, why? He used to work there. He did Elvis impersonation. I said, out of all this place in Vegas, I said, you think there'll be a lot more robberies and stuff? He goes, Lee, I've been living here probably 30 years. I've heard of two. There'll be like a casino was robbed. It'll be on the news for like one story. He goes, and then you never hear of it again. So it's like
a casino, right? That's what happens.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of holes out in that desert somewhere. It's like, they must have got them. So
yeah.
Sure. Those are the good old days.
Remember, what's his name? Who was that mayor? Who was the lawyer for the mobsters in New York, and then he became the mayor of Vegas? Remember, what was his name?
Yeah.
It's like, how'd that happen? You're the lawyer for the mobsters in New York, and then you become the mayor of Vegas. Coincidence.
Wild West at that.
But back to the Olympia, I reckon if it's 50 plus, I'm making a comeback. Your blonde and Priest are getting back together. Dave.
Mano a mano, yeah.
There's a new species on the horizon.
We'll be like reborn. We'll be training together, reunited 20, 30 years later with
Mike moves all the way from the city to Australia to live with Lee,
Plenty of Ben Gay.
We're going to do old style, going back to Venice. 3 months in Venice. I'm going to pay for it all. Mike and Lee back in Venice.
Right,
he'll be rubbing me down.
I'm marking down the calendar. So when
Mikey's going to be rubbing me each night with Ben Gay and after ice cream, and
then we got to get up 3 hours early so we can mummify ourselves.
I got to get up 3 hours early just to put my shoes on. You probably
have to go to Vegas to train because you can't even. I don't even think Gold's Gym has bodybuilders anymore, does it?
I don't. And it's still outside too, I heard.
I know, it's ridiculous. You got to go to like the Dragon's Lair or something like that.
Outside.
We don't want to go to Dragon's Lair. There's too many good bodybuilders there. Mikey and I go into Venice where we still look good.
No, I wish World was still open. We really look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Average age is like 80.
Yeah.
Is Eddie Giuliani still alive?
I spoke to Ed. Last time I spoke to Eddie was when I was in America. That was like a year and a half ago, and I know he was moving. He was moving out to Rancho to be closer to his daughter and stuff. And I spoke to Joe Wheatley about a month ago, just planning on going to the thing. So I'm trying to get Eddie out there. Yeah, but he's still alive. He's still there at the gym in the morning. I went to the Golds at 5 a.m. and Eddie was there. It was great to see him.
Oh,
we had
really?
a little cry and that. Still, he's still there. Well, he was there, but now he's moved out to Rancho because you got to feel sorry for Eddie because look at Joe Gold passed. Gordon Mitchell passed. Like all his mates are gone. He's the last one left. Sadly, when Eddie's wife passed, that really hit him hard. Mary, she was a beautiful woman when she passed away from cancer. So really, it was just like him by himself there. It was sort of.
He probably. I can't imagine he has a lot of money, right? I can't imagine he has a lot of money.
I think he's getting by, but he still loves his cars. He had a Corvette, then he's like, "Now tell me, Lee, tell me," and this and then, and you know what Eddie's like, and now tell me, now tell me. He's like. Oh, he loves to talk, Eddie.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Where did he make his money? Because he worked behind the desk at the gym for years, right?
Oh, no, I think Joe really took care of a lot of them. I think back then, Joe was helping a lot of them out. Yeah, because I know he had a really nice place around just off the canals back there. Right. Look, I got invited to his house. No one at the gym could believe it. They're like, did he blindfold you? Because like to go to Eddie's house was like going to the back cave. You got to be blindfolded. You get secret directions. Wait on this corner for such and such a car will pick you up and take you this way. That way. So they get to go there. It was like, that was really good that I got invited. I think, I'm in now. And then the day I knew I was in was when I did that, I think even Mike mentioned that the 97 Ironman and that when Joe Gold or someone thought I should have won it. And like everyone came out. It's like they said, Joe Gold hasn't been to a show since Arnold and he's coming to watch you and all this sort of stuff. And he was that pissed off that I got runner up. He's like, how did them bloated belly gorillas beat you? And blah, blah, blah.
That's great. Was he well received there, Lee, or did no one even know who he was?
No, he was well received. Yeah. But I don't know what it was though. But sometimes when I was talking to Joe in the office and that, and Joe Weider's name will come up. I don't know what the feud was there, but for some reason there was this love, mainly hate relationship where, like Joe Gold didn't like Joe Weider for some reason. So whether it had to do with Arnold or whatever, I'm not sure. But there was some.
Lee, the impression I got was that he didn't like many people.
He only liked
Joe Gold.
He liked me and Eddie Giuliani. That was the only people he liked.
He was like, the ultimate curmudgeon.
And Zabo. He likes Zabo.
Yeah.
I like when he
so he liked his whole group,
He had his cronies, He
didn't like anybody under 75.
Now you think I'm a bad driver. If you ever went in the car with Joe Gold.
I didn't say you're a bad driver. I said you're a fast, crazy driver.
Okay. Well, Joe Gold, because he had the hand control on his thing. Oh my God. I went to Costco with him because I go to Costco with him because he'd always buy his food there for his dogs.
He had a big SUV, right?
Chickens. Yeah, that big like Chevy fucking Tahoe thing.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, you talk about and fucking just flat out, and he would be off. Oh my God.
Thinks he's on a motorcycle.
And now he couldn't do it today. He would go on planes. It's like Mike Hewitts and them would fly or drive somewhere to like these Ursa shows. They're like, Lee, can you go with Joe? So I'd go with Joe, help him onto the plane with the wheelchairs and stuff. And as soon as they get him out the wheelchair and put him in one of those little ones to put him in his seat, he'd start. Oh, how are you, beautiful? What thing's she going to bring me in? Like, my seat belt's stuck, and she'd be getting the seatbelt out. He goes, oh, I'm feeling something. Can you go a bit lower? I'm just sitting there shaking.
You're like his son now, like mortified, right?
I know, and she's laughing, she's smiling because he's older. He's getting away with it. I'm thinking, oh my God, if I was saying any of this stuff, he's like, this is the best flight I've ever had. He's like. We're not even there yet, and it feels like I've already come. He's talking to the flight attendant. He's just smiling, thinking, it's like the older you get, you can get away with that shit. Not anymore, I guess, but back then, it was funny.
I bet you didn't tie the end of his dick to a coffee table.
No, see, he never.
All right, well, guys, thanks. I got to wrap this up, guys. I got to go.
Nice
Mike, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
If they have the Masters Olympia in 23, taking both of you
50 plus
out of it, who wins?
Who's doing it?
I don't know.
I will say Victor Martinez.
Oh, I forgot about him. Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah,
he's still big.
Maybe that's what
I
he's
see him all the
for.
time. Huh?
That would be great.
He's still big.
Well, even I think Dennis James could still. He still look like he could probably do it.
Yeah, but my thing is that Dennis hasn't competed in like 10 years.
Right.
It's not easy when you're that age to put that on. Victor's already big and not far from competing, but he's still like got the size, man.
Mike,
I like that. I think you're right, Mike.
Mike, I'm coming back conditioned like the universe.
You excluded, okay?
I'll get runner up then to Victor. Okay.
Yeah.
How's your nerve thing?
It's okay. It's okay. But look, yes, and I commented on there because didn't Jake Wood say he wanted it in like Slovakia or somewhere? Where did he say he wanted it?
Just the Masters.
I don't even know.
The Masters one. It's like some country. I said, have it in Australia.
Maybe Romania.
It's like, look at the comment. Yeah,
I think they have it in
Romania,
Ukraine.
I think it was.
Maybe you're Romania.
Yeah, somewhere like that. Yeah.
Ukraine.
It's like Putin's going to come and judge it. No.
Yeah, maybe he'll compete. He likes to take his shirt off a lot, right?
He does. He'd probably win it. Well, he would win it. If he's in it, he's winning it because
Here it is. I got it. This is a quote from Jake Wood. Absolutely, yeah. As a matter of fact, we had started plans to have the Masters Olympia in Romania this upcoming year. After looking at the immigration policies of the people actually getting in, we decided it's too risky for such a big event. So I guess he's going to maybe hold it in the U.S. I would
keep reading where it says. Keep reading where it says. So we have decided maybe Australia will be on the books. I have been in contact with Lee Priest. Yeah. And Lee Priest is looking. Keep reading. It says it there, doesn't it?
Dave, Dave, why don't they just have it at, like the Mr. Olympia weekend where they have every other show?
I'm going to give you the answer to that. Here's his quote. I think that would be too much at the Olympia weekend.
Oh, that's too much?
I think it deserves better treatment than that. We definitely want to have it. It's going to start happening here. Something has to happen, Wood said, definitely by 2023.
There are 97 categories in the show, and that's too much.
I'm going to address that now. Well, he said, well, do you change the age requirements? Where do you set the bar as far as the age? At first, we said we would like to be 50. At 40 and above. Wood stated, there's still a lot of top guys who are right there. So, the men's open and other classes too, I think 45 might be the mark. Oh, that's good.
Wasn't Ronnie like 42 when he won his last Olympia?
Yeah, what? I put 50, so...
Was it Ronnie like 40?
Good, I think, because you're starting to go downhill by then.
No. 50, because look, you're starting to go downhill, but
Vince Taylor, 50, Vince Taylor would come out of retirement for that.
Yeah. Well, at 50, though, we're pretty much all downhill. It's an even playing field.
Guaranteed, 60 and over.
We're pretty much all. You know where they should have it? Have it at Venice Beach. This way, it's nostalgic. It's old guys down at the beach.
I'd like to see Gary Stridham make a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
He'd probably be good, too. There's a good one.
Victor Richards, if he's not dead, he might come back.
Yeah, and he's alive. Yeah, he can do it. That's right.
Lee, you better watch. He doesn't like you.
No one likes me. He didn't like Gary, remember? Because remember that time, here's a quick story. We're eating at the firehouse, and there was Mike, it was there, and Gary were talking, and then even Gary's like, oh, here comes Victor, and that. And he said before how Victor come in and just started yelling at him how Gary killed his people. You killed my people. Gary's like, what? What do you mean? He goes, in South Africa, your people killed all my people. And Gary's like, I'm just eating my chicken and broccoli, mate. I don't know.
Bro. Hey, Dave, one other quick story.
Yeah.
Which is really funny. Mike Christian used to kind of go to the firehouse with us. He hated Gary Stridham so much.
Really?
He hated him.
Why?
Because they were both in the WBF, and Mike was pissed off because Gary got star treatment. He hated him.
You know,
couldn't stand him.
I think what it was too. It was like maybe because one had platinum wear, one had crazy.
Yeah, that too.
He copied my baggy pants design.
Yeah.
Didn't Gary live across the street from the firehouse and he used to drive his car there?
Yes, he did. He'd drive across. Yes. What
the fuck was that about?
He'd take the elevator all the way to the bottom garage. You'd have to wait, drive the Mercedes out, and come down Main Street to the line, do a U-turn, and then park in front of the thing. And I'd say, Gary, why don't you walk across? He's like, too far.
He made sure he told everybody it was a Mercedes 600 or something like that. Remember?
He had the Mercedes, and then he got, and then he brought that when that new BMW come out, the 2-door coupe Beamer. Remember he had that one, and
the 8
I think I left by that time.
Yeah, but he'd park right out the front. Or well, that was like Flex, though. Flex would be at the gym training. There's Charles Glass, and Chris would be there waiting for Flex. And we're like, well, why are you waiting for Flex? I said, he's out front. But Flex would not park in the car park across the road.
No, I know
He'd
that,
park. He'd wait in his car, music blaring, boom, boom, boom. And then sometimes he'd park in the handicap spot.
Yeah.
Flex Wheeler, can you move your car? Yeah, just keep training. It's like it wouldn't park across the road. He had to be right out front. And
because you wanted everyone to see his car.
Hour.
Yeah.
But he'd just sit there in his car waiting. I'm thinking, Charles is inside. He's just waiting.
All those guys had nice cars back then.
Yeah. And then
all the stereos in the boots and
yeah. They spent like $40,000 on the stereo, right?
Yeah. We all had shitty apartments, but we had nice cars.
Yeah. All right, that's it, guys. That's all she wrote.
All right,
Thank you, Mike Avalon.
Thanks.
Lee Priest, love you, man. We'll see you next week
Thank
for
you.
another installment.
Thank you.
Bye.